Yeah. Yes, let's cater to our vendors, but let's cater to our bridesmaids as well and the groomsmen, like I remember at my wedding I said nobody's eating until the bridesmaids take their food. Okay,
Yes,
maybe
we
it's
took
maybe
our
it's
food first.
wrong, maybe it's wrong, I don't know. But it's just the thing of like these people have been up on their feet since 3 o'clock. They are also working, I mean maids, so they're serving you guys as a couple, so they also just need to eat and to
Yeah.
feel special. So yeah, it's not just about the guests as well. Let's also take care of our vendors and the bridal party. And speaking of the bridal party, I think what we sometimes get it wrong is we don't also communicate to
Mm,
when you request. I think for me, the practical thing to do is I might love beautiful things.
mm,
I might have a budget for it, but
mm,
I should also consider the people that are making groomsmen and bridesmaids.
mm.
So I always say, and I would advise someone, when you ask someone to be a groomsman or a bridesmaid, the request should already come with the
Cost
expectation,
estimate.
the cost estimate, the expectation,
Yes.
and yeah, the duties,
Mm,
just so that when I commit and say, yes, I will be your bridesmaid or yes, I will be your groomsman, I know uh, that it might cost me a 2,000 or a 6,000
yes.
basically.
Yes.
Because we also don't want, especially for on the female side, we don't want a bride now being stressed because you are now after your bridesmaids, like pay up, pay up, pay up. But it's because now I said yes to being a bridesmaid, not knowing that I'm not in a position to pay. So it's
And it's
always
okay to
nice, yeah.
turn down
Yes, yes. It's
bridesmaidship,
very,
guys.
very, very okay to turn down bridesmaid duties, especially if you know that you are not in a position. For the
Yeah.
sake of your relationship, you don't want
Yes.
your relationship being strained now because of this one day event, because now you are not able to pay your bridesmaid outfit. And now the
Mm,
bride is stressed. And with some vendors, I'll be like, if all the 10 dresses are not paid for, I'm
I'm
not
not giving
releasing them.
any.
Now, in the
Yes.
end, you find that now this bride has to now settle one or two dresses so that the other 8 ladies that paid
Mm,
get their dresses. So I always say it's better that when you request someone, and I know we women, we get excited, oh, my friend is getting married, and you're like, yay, I'm going to
mm,
be a
mm,
bridesmaid.
mm.
And then your friend asks you, would you be my bridesmaid? Like, yes, I'll be your bridesmaid. And then when
Yeah.
it's time to pay up, I'm telling you, pay. January is the due date because I need
Mm,
to order the goods or the vendor needs to order the material and you
mm,
didn't.
mm.
So for the brides as well, request with an idea of the costs. At
Yes.
least we know estimation, like makeup might be this much, hair might be this much, dresses might be, at least when the person says yes, I'll be a bridesmaid, they know it's because they will need to spend around 2,000 on bridesmaid, excluding now all the other costs that come, like bridal showers and
Mm,
traveling to the north and gifting the bride.
mm.
Like like let the person know what they are committing to. And again, we are also from different cultures. If you know, like let's say if you are in our
You say no, I'm
yeah,
a person.
if you are like a bride and you are from the Awambo tribe, right? You know what happens at your house during an Oshiwambo traditional wedding.
Mm,
There
mm,
would probably be guests to be served, there will be this and that. Like, be considerate of your bridesmaids, that they might come from another background, they might come from another culture, they might not be Namibian for one, they might
mm,
be from other tribes, and things are
mm.
done differently. And even accommodation, like wise, like
Yes.
will they be sleeping at your house or would you expect them to book in somewhere? So you
Mm.
need to communicate this. As a bride, you need to be considerate of your people. And just like, would you expect your bridesmaids to serve in the tent? Would you expect them to maybe peel butternuts the night before?
Mm.
um would you expect them to assist in whatever form, physical? Because then we also find bridesmaids that are really also unreasonable. They come to the bride's house. Now, she's a bride and she probably there having to meet their akulupe and what, and you are now expecting this bride to be catering to you. Like, she
Exactly.
can't save you. Yes, she's your friend. It's the first time you are going to the north or perhaps to her house, but she's a bride. She can't be the one taking care of you. Like, are you hungry? Yes, as a bride, she can allocate duty to one of her cousins at home. Like, okay, maybe just make sure that you guys, at least when you are cooking, there's food for bridesmaids, but she can't be the one to take care of you, ABC. You are a bridesmaid. Like, it says maid, you are the one to cater to the bride. You
And
know?
also, just don't forget, like, you should be helping the bride also.
Yeah.
You can't just be the one like creating content that you even forget that
Yeah.
maybe
Did
even the
she
bride
eat?
herself didn't eat.
Did she eat? If the wedding is in the village, like I remember my one friend, the wedding was at the village, and so as bridesmaid, we had to prepare supper in the evening. I remember that morning when we woke up, as we are boiling our water to bath, we had to make sure that the bride has warm water to bath as well, you know. So it's some of those duties that as a bridesmaid, it's not just to look all nice and glam. It depends. It depends on what type of wedding it is. It depends where is the wedding. If it's in a lodge, we can just wake up and be glamored up, right? But if it's a wedding at the village, there's just certain things that a bridesmaid need to be doing. So for one, brides, you need to try to communicate some of the duties so that someone who's also from a different cultural background understand that, no, in this culture, like I understand, like over Herrera wedding also, I
Sometimes you
think
must
people
take your
camp.
own camp or
Yeah,
something. Or yeah.
camping, you know, equipment. So when you are getting married and you are including guests and bridesmaids or groomsmen from a different culture, then it's nice to communicate these things so they don't get a shock of their life. Like, oh, now I traveled all the way to the north. Now I'm being asked to make fire. Yeah, okay, fire is now, it's worse. I know nobody would ask you to make fire, but it's such things like, oh, now I'm being asked to peel potatoes. I didn't know. I thought I'll just come and look nice. Yeah. So communicate the duties of the bridesmaid. Obviously, it won't be everything, but yeah, like just for people to know what to expect.
And I
Yeah.
think as much as even when I said it's okay to turn down being a bridesmaid, it's also that you also have to remember that sometimes someone only wants 5 bridesmaids, but they have like 20 friends. It doesn't always mean that that should be the end of your relationship if the person doesn't make you a bridesmaid or things like yeah, no, so this person doesn't value me or things like that. But yeah, no, remember that there's costs that come to being a bridesmaid. It's okay to even say I want to think about it. Then you look at your budget like, yo, can I accommodate this 8,000 plus the maybe flight or transport to the north, etc. But
And
yeah,
gifting and
and
all
gifting,
this
there's
kind of.
bridal showers, and maybe they might be like, no, bridal bridesmaids should contribute for it. So no.
And the other thing also that I wanted to, I think I wanted to speak on when it comes to bridal couple is, I know it looks good, but it's okay to have uneven
Numbers of,
numbers,
yes.
right? Because you'd find that, and I've attended a wedding where there was, I think, 3 groomsmen, and I think the girls were either 7 or 8. Like, it was few years back, and for me, it was okay because the groom only have those 3 people that he wants to make bride. I mean,
Yeah,
groomsmen,
groomsmen,
right?
yes.
And the bride has her 8 girls, which is
Yes.
okay. Now, you don't want now to pressurize the groom to add 5 more people so that you guys balance it out for the sake of the pictures, because then now the groom will be frustrated because he added now these 5 friends or 5 cousins that were not in his initial plan. So because with weddings, it a wedding planning is quite stressful, hey. So you don't want again to just add on stress that you can avoid. Like, now you wanted to reach 10, so you ended up adding 2 more people that you really really didn't want, or maybe these people just end up coming to frustrate you.
And then
In
now
fact,
maybe you'd even be like, oh, my dresses for my bridesmaid would have been done by now if
yes.
I'd stuck to my 5 or 6
Yes.
or whatever.
And recently I even saw on Instagram a friend of mine shared something like, um it's I think it's a couple was getting married, and then the male was on the phone with his childhood friend, And then the childhood friend asks like, oh, so how's your fiance? What's her name again? So you search things again, like, okay,
I was planning on adding it to my guest list, but
yes, guest list. Okay, maybe a guest list is fine, but you would find out you even end up adding on this person on your bridesmaids list, but they don't even know your fiance.
yes,
And then
at
now
least not
they're
even
even
at
here
the name.
frustrating you. And then you're just feeling sorry for them. And also, I always tell brides, like, please, when you and your fiance are talking about your wedding name, before it even becomes public knowledge, already draw up your guest list, already start drawing
Yeah.
up your bridesmaids. Because especially as women, we have this thing that, oh, you're getting married. Yay, I'm going to be a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Now, because I don't want to disappoint you, then I end up saying yes, you can
But
be
we're
my
not even
bride.
on the
Yeah,
list and
but you
stuff.
are not
Yeah.
even on the list,
Mm.
and then now in the end you are frustrated and you are regretting. And we've
I've actually
had
had a friend who
brides.
met a colleague, and the colleague was like, "No, I heard you're getting married." Now she was like, "No, you should come."
Yeah,
But then, like, you guys don't even like. Yeah, you used to work together,
yeah.
but like, you never even thought of inviting this person. But they kind of made you feel guilty about it. Now you're like, "No, you should come." Now imagine if you're having a wedding where it's really like strictly strict numbers and stuff. But now you're telling this person they should come, and then most of the times they obviously won't come. But
Yeah.
they'll just like as Wambus, we also just talk for the sake of
I know,
talking,
like
but
atoya, atoya, oh atoya, atoya, and then you even end up increasing your capacity.
yes.
Initially, you wanted 150 people, now you are increasing to 170, and you are paying for every single the
This is why
spoon.
RSVPing is so important, guys.
It is important, but in the Awamba wedding also, I think to a certain extent it's important, so you nga have an idea that, okay, I know these 100 people definitely will attend, unless maybe something comes up and then they might not attend. But for me, it's also a thing of, if I'm coming to, honestly, now me, if you invite me to your wedding in the north, like, yeah, forget the town weddings, right? If I'm coming to a wedding in the north, and the only person that I know there is the bride or the groom, chances are I'm going to ask a cousin of mine
To
to come
come
with
with,
me,
yeah.
because yes, RSVP is important and all, and you don't want to add a burden or cost to guests. But honestly, if I'm coming to a wedding and I'm alone, so yes, RSVP is important to get an idea at least of how many people you
Like for
you.
me, because I was having a COVID wedding where Tate Shangula Kalumbi said 250 people max. So it was very important that I needed people to RSVP, because also I'm someone that I know a lot of people. I have childhood people, guests, and my husband and I, because we know each other from like high school. I know a lot of his people are my people, vice versa. So it's not even a thing of this person is not going to be on the list because we won't be on the list. So it's very important. Like I know, okay, if you know for sure you're not coming, then I can add someone else to the list.
Yeah.
But now also, like now we do these things of like tags and stuff like that. But then we get to the door now and you realize that, okay, my wedding, I had a whole guest list, my dear, with, but then the mistake I did is I had a guest list that I only distributed to my bridesmaids and groomsmen when we were at the hall. And that was like kind of also wasting time. We did actually eventually get the people that were on the guest list in there. But now the whole giving of the tags, we need to find, I think, a better way of giving it, not at the hall, like with what I did, because that just wastes time. Did I even have tags? No, I just had a guest list. And
I think you just had a guest list. Yeah. I think you just had a guest list.
there's a friend of mine that I misspelled his surname. So he was at the door, like for example, his surname, say for example, is Hamakali, and I wrote Haikili or something. So now he was at the door saying, "No, my name is, for example, Samuel Haikili." No, they're like that. There is no Samuel Haikili. I'll never forget that. Oh shame, the
Yeah.
poor guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
no.
maybe to go back to the priority list also is, um as much as you have your priority list, also be one, honest about yourselves and your pockets, and with your vendors as well. Because I remember the time of my wedding, I got married
Is
2016,
15.
no, 16.
16. Oh. Oh
And
yeah.
at the time, the Tiffany chairs were just coming in. Back then the weddings were plastic chairs with the white covers, right? And at the time, Tiffany chairs were coming in,
Mm.
like, but now because they were also new and very, very few decor people had them, the price was also a bit, yeah, high, I guess I can call it that. Obviously, coming from the plastic chairs that were like $5, and at the time, Tiffany chairs were around, I think
Minimum
maybe
25.
27, 26 there, right? So when I got the coat, I was just like, my beloved Diko Meme, and shout out to my DK guys. She's an
DK
amazing
event.
DK events man. That girl, like she's really good. She takes care of her
And
couple.
she's
She's so
calm.
caring and she's calm. So I was just like, oof man, that boy me, I cannot afford these chairs. So let's take them out of the coat and I will have the plastic chairs with the white covers. Like you don't want
But until
also.
today, no one can actually even remember that you had that. Because you speak only if you speak about it, but you
Yes.
actually won't remember
Yeah.
that.
So, and then at least I didn't, the lady, and she agreed and she still came to provide a good service because
Yeah.
you now don't want to disappoint the vendors and then you can't afford the items and then she commits and then she maybe cancels other weddings that she could have done on that day and then just for you to come end up disappointing them because you couldn't afford. So just be honest with your vendors. Like if you know the photographer, you can't afford them, then don't,
I don't
and
know.
then you end up not paying the person.
When I was going through I had my budget for what I wanted for like deco. Now we are going through the list because they must give you like a standard quote at first, then you like adjust what you want in and what. Then there are certain things now I was even telling Menangula, the ones who did my wedding, and I'm just like, I don't think I need underplates. And then she was okay. Eventually, she convinced me to
Yeah.
keep them.
Yeah.
But also, one thing I like when you build that good relationship with your vendor, it's like with mine, I can say there are certain things I took out that I saw they had put without me even having to pay for it because they saw it looked nice. So they do that also when you guys have like a good relationship and you're both respectful to each other. The other thing where when I was going through my list, I told myself is if I don't notice this thing at someone else's wedding, guys, I'm not going to put it there. Like this money can go elsewhere. I took out things like cocktail tables because I'm like, I knew that I had like go to church to Ondobe, go to my father for the reception at Oshidigu, come to my mother's house on Nathindi, then come to Ondangwa, the airport
Airport
lodge where
lodge
we had
for
my
the
wedding
reception.
for the reception. Now, in all of this, there's no time for cocktail hanging around, like welcome drinks, like it's not necessary. We were meant to enter the hall and start eating, like get on with the program and stuff. So just think about like your day and the setup of your day, like is this even necessary? You saw it at someone else's wedding, and I had a friend who she didn't have under plates for her wedding, but it's like one of those things that people didn't even notice. They actually think they put plates instead or something, or but like think it actually really really looked nice and clean. The plates were somewhere else, so just like flowers and stuff. So really just don't stretch yourself because you saw someone else wedding was like this and whatever. There's things that are happening now in fashion, like I'm not like talking bad, like say we have content creators, but like if you know you can't afford a content creator and your videographer is able to make nice videos for you, it's also okay, like certain things are not
Yeah.
always
And
necessary.
the other, okay, I don't mean to close down anybody's business, but we have these dreams of like I want a 5-tier wedding cake. You can actually make 3 tiers are real cake
And
and
the
the
other
2
two
are foam.
they actually do that.
Yes, even these things like I want flowers, like yes, the vendors can actually make a mixture of real flowers and artificial
Artificial
flowers.
flowers.
Because sometimes, like, if you have a dream of a certain wedding look, also don't be discouraged because you can't afford it. Because obviously, we all know flowers are very, very expensive. Like, talk to these vendors; they know how to make magic for you, and they can mix up and it will look real. Even
Yeah.
with cakes, it will look
Yes,
real.
yes.
So don't go now spending your last dollar because you wanted a 5-tier cake. Like, yeah, there's ways to do these things. That's why I always say talk to these people. Be open with your vendors. Like, ask them for advice. They know the things.
I also just guys, we have like I know wedding vendors can also disappoint us sometimes. But there's like so many people that are so good in Namibia that are not part of, say, the A list or the A team that people say. Like for example, the people that did my deco, it's called Royal Events. It's Menangula and
Kelau.
I was gonna say her surname.
Mm.
But now it's like they are older ladies who are not social media people. So even when I refer people, I can't go say, no, go look at their Instagram page, you'll see their work, because they're not like into this social media people. Like they're really much older ladies, but like they are so, I actually saw their within the Timmy's wedding. I think that was the first time I saw their work live, that is not just, and I was like, these women are really, really good. And then I used them for my wedding. But all of these weddings of ours, I don't even think if you go, I think mine, I saw a picture. You won't go on their page and be able to see the work they did,
That they're
because,
good.
yeah, so like ask around. It
Word of
doesn't,
mouth.
yeah, word of mouth is really important. It doesn't just mean that, oh no, people are going for some, let's say Selma had a Selma Deco event. She's like, oh, that one is part of the A team. Like maybe you won't even be able to afford that, but you can still get a very, very good service from someone that's not part of the A team. Or don't cry because the person that's maybe the kind of makeup artist you want part of the A team is not able to be there, or things like that. So ask around, shop around, get prices. Maybe you can even get better for cheaper. And it's really just about what you can afford. I don't have an issue with people spending millions of dollars on their weddings if that's what they can afford. But you yourself know your reality, and yeah, what works for you.
Yeah, and shout out to the new trend of the kapana. Okay, it's not new per se, but I see now the service
It's
providers
even
that
service
give it.
providers, maybe.
I
Yeah.
know the first time I experienced it was 2014. Our cousin Katanga.
Oh yes,
Was that
yes,
2014? I don't
yes.
know. I think they're married for 10 years now. I can't remember. But I know they had after church this whole session while the couple is taking pictures, and then there was just some meat being bride. I think it was borscht and drinks. Because obviously with the procedures of the Awambo wedding, people only get to go eat like at 6 or 7 in the evening. But now the people have been at church since 9 o'clock. So this is, yeah, this, I think every couple should consider this. Like, you don't need to hire a service provider if you can't afford, but you can,
Sometimes we
your
even have a good
cousins.
cousin that can
Yes,
bribe.
as long
Yeah.
as you have cousins that can bribe,
Like
put
let's
up
try
few
looking
drinks.
around you first to also
Yes.
just limit costs. And this cousin
Yeah.
of mine that Mesa is talking about, like shout out to him. So he even offered that for me, like kind of like a gift for the wedding. But like I said, know your circumstances and your situation. I had 4 places to go in one day. So I told him, like, guys, I don't think we're gonna have time to do that, because normally these things are good when you have just church and then reception, because there's that gap time. But for us, it's get to church, get to my dad's, get to memes, get to, like, even the photo shoot, like time was very limited, so there wasn't time for that. So also, if you feel like, if you know that you are having a setup like mine, then don't go buy 2 cows just for kapana. Maybe like find a way. Like a friend of mine who's getting married, we're thinking about, this whole breakfast setup that people do. Like it's really pretty. I know I probably still wouldn't have done it, because I like the whole eating with your bridesmaids or shifima and the meat and whatever. But what we had decided is, like, we can actually make like almost like takeaway thingies for your bridesmaids and groomsmen. That's,
For
yeah, for
church.
before church, because maybe in the morning there's too much rush, you won't get to do that. So I know sometimes we want to do it for aesthetics of like the cute looking things, but like practically, like now they're going to run, like, let me grab quickly this salami or whatever to eat. Like, let's just prepare it, and then you're actually when on their way to the church in their car, maybe they can eat, because like some of them have been up at 2 a.m. But I also think, like, guys, if you're having maybe 15 bridesmaids or 10, let's try and get 2 makeup artists if you can.
Yeah.
Because now I must wake up at 1 a.m., go back to sleep. Now 8 o'clock, when it's time for pictures, maybe I'm oily, or like maybe try and get 2 bridesmaids, 2 makeup artists, so that you don't, like, the time is, I mean, people don't have to wake up at 1 a.m. after they only slept at 11 o'clock.
And yeah, the breakfast setup that you're also talking about, what I what I what I like about it is the fact that it's catering to the bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Because you sometimes you hear stories like the bridesmaid went to church without eating, because now everybody was just running around. Yes, maybe there was food served, but that one was still doing their makeup, so they didn't get to eat breakfast, right? So I think this new breakfast setup again it's a way of you serving to the bridesmaids to make sure that they eat. I know on social media we just see the aesthetics and it looks nice and all there. And in fact, I was like, does that food get eaten? And someone said yes, it actually get eaten. But I saw recently the picture where the bridesmaids were seated and having breakfast, and that is nice.
There
like
were
the
even
bride,
eggs and
yes. So
sausages,
the bride catered to the bridesmaids, so they are going to church on a
full
full
stomach.
tummy,
But
and
even
no one
with
will be
that, I saw
grumpy.
a wedding that happened sometime this year where they had like fat cook and
Oh yes, the
yeah, so it's not even.
traditional
So I
food.
think the whole aim is not necessarily about what you are eating;
Yeah.
it's about the people are eating.
Yes.
So even if like some meat or some fat cooks or boiled eggs, whatever, like just that the people actually really get to eat. Because
Yeah.
guys, the wedding day is long.
Yeah, it's the catering to the people, taking care of the people. No one is grumpy when you are saying let's take pictures. Like, oh, now no one is missing in the pictures because they were hungry and they ran by the cooker shop to go buy something to eat.
And then like also guys, bridesmaids, let's prepare your cooler box. You and your bridesmaids as ready for like, because yes, let's also just find a way to take care of ourselves, etc. etc.
Yeah.
And I think the last question I have for you, because it's not about weddings, because now it does
But
ask.
I feel like I forgot something that I wanted to speak on weddings. Let's move on.
So to conclude, you can tell us about what your advice would be. Because when we're talking about weddings, most like that's one stage of your life. Then you get into another stage of your life where like you're a whole wife and you're a mother, and but obviously like your life continues. Like you have dreams and aspirations of your own. Like you're not just gonna be a wife
after the wedding.
After the wedding, there's still a life after the wedding. Like what advice would you give in terms of like just work-life balance? Like you are very big on education. You keep always reading something, studying something. Yeah. So like, how do you personally, what would you advise? Maybe doesn't mean that you do it. Maybe you fail at it, but you can still advise us on like, what would you advise a young girl getting into starting a life as a wife, but also you have your own dreams and aspirations?
No. Life after a wedding day. Okay.
Do you want to talk about premarital? People must really do premarital.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think you've touched on that enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
No. So it's probably something about actual wedding day, but it's probably not important. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a sister.
Daughter.
I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I'm an employee. Here, Nyana, side hustler.
Yes, girl, get the coin.
So I do a lot of things, right? And I don't really think there's a balance, eh? I'm not balancing.
And it's so funny. The reason why I even decided to ask you this is like, even my friends are always like, how does your sister do it? It's like she does it so well. Like you're able to show up, like you are there at the bridal shower of somebody.
I like
Then you are
this.
going. Then you have to go study still, and then you have like the kids that want mommy time, and there's your husband that also wants like your time. Do you allocate specific time for specific things, or you just wing it?
It depends on the time and the season. Like now, I have exams coming up in December, right? And so what I do from work, check my son's homework. Like he says like I check his homework if it's done and if it's correct, and if I need to assist anywhere, then we do that. And then stay with the bundles a bit, and then go study. Like even my 2-year-old knows like, oh, mommy is going to study. So, and also with the exam coming up, I'm cutting down on the socials. So I won't be able to show up for like from now leading up to December. I won't be able to show up for all the social events I'll be invited to, be it bridal showers or birthdays or weddings or so there's a season during the year where I have to prioritize certain areas. If it's something about the kids, then even if I need to study, I'll put the books on hold and go to the child's activity. So there's really no
Does
balance.
that mean that you probably have to now put in an extra hour of studying time when you go to
Yes,
bed?
you put in an extra hour, or yeah, basically, or then you just push it to the next day. So there's really no balance. There's, for me personally, there's no that thing of 50-50. It just doesn't work. There are certain times I neglect my studies. There are certain times, of course, I can't neglect work. That one is a no-go. Like I need to give 100% when I'm at work. But now when it comes to studies and family, like certain areas are neglected. But for me, I think the reason I've managed, and I think in my 7 years, how long?
8
My
years.
8 years of being married, I've birthed 3 kids. I've done 3.5 qualification, and I would say 3.5, or is it 4.5 qualifications? Obviously, some are just certifications for a few months, some are like a full degree. So in those 8 years, I was able to work. I changed jobs. I gave birth to kids. I did study, and sometimes you give 100% to school, sometimes to the family. It's good to have a support system.
Yeah.
Shout out to my husband.
Yeah.
Shout out to my auntie. For the kids, I call her auntie. And I've had probably 3 or 4. So all of them that have played a role in my kids' life. And I'm still in touch with some of them. So shout out to them. Like they're really a support system, and they understand that, okay, Mendapoa can cook today, or Mendapoa is invisible. She's in the house, but she's invisible. So it helps to have a support system, because honestly, there's no balance, and at times I just have to see what, if it's a week leading to the exam, then everybody in the house knows that mommy or wifey is for the books. And then after the exams, then I can give attention to the kids. And even if I was supposed to go to the child's school activity, and it's maybe I'm writing an exams in 2 days, and then my husband can go alone. So it helps to have a support system. I really don't have a balance sometimes, and it's tough. Sometimes it plays an emotional toll on you, because you feel like, oh, am I being a bad mother? Am I being a bad wife? But it helps also to be surrounded by people that understand your circumstances, and people that are cheering you on. Like it's nice to have to have a partner that understand why you are studying, or they support your dreams, so that at least they know that, okay, here they have to be the only one playing the parental duties, but it's also a temporary situation. And also the thing is, I say, when you get married, you are still an individual person, so you shouldn't lose yourself, you shouldn't lose your identity, you shouldn't neglect your dreams, because you don't want 10 years from now you're like, okay, I wanted to do a master's, but I put it on hold because, okay, I was just giving birth, or I was just taking care of my husband, and
Then you
taking care
want
of
to
the
resent
husband.
the person
Yeah, then you want
also.
to resent the kids or the husband. So you must just, as long as you and your spouse are communicating, and he understands that, okay, you want to study, or she understands that you want to pursue that dream, it can be school, it can be business, then as long as they support you, and then you can do it, and you can start now. You shouldn't really put your dreams on hold. Even with kids, you can. I remember for my last born, I I think when I wrote my final, I was doing an honors degree. It was another degree I was doing, and when I had to write my last exam, I was literally 1 week away from giving birth.
I was
So
going to laugh at her that with every child she has a qualification.
yeah, so it's a thing. You can still study even if you are pregnant. You can. I recently saw of a lady who graduated,
You're not
and
afraid of going in labor while you're writing exams.
well, you are afraid, but if it happens, then they'll call an ambulance. It's fine. It's fine. But now you can't now say, I'm not gonna study because I might go in labor, and then the next thing you
Exactly.
don't go
Then
in
you're not in
labor,
labor.
you wasted time. And even now that it's application time, like if you want something, just apply. Like,
Mm.
don't like, yeah, what if I'm pregnant, or what if I'll be
Yeah, we
breastfeeding,
also get,
or what
especially
if
with
I don't have
newlyweds.
money, or what if I
Mm.
don't have money. Certain things, guys, you just wing it together. You can be pregnant, you can be breastfeeding, you can
Mm.
be studying at the same time and still
Mm.
working. Like, you'll find a way.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
don't put your life on hold, um
But what ifs?
yeah, for the what ifs.
Mm.
What if doesn't happen now,
Mm.
but
Mm.
there's, for me, really, there's no balance. It's just, I just try to, yeah, to wing it. And where my kids understand mommy studying, communication very important, kids,
Mm.
family. Sometimes I send my kids to my mom,
Mm.
like, yeah. So support system is helpful, but don't lose yourself in marriage. Don't
Yes.
lose your dreams because of a marriage.
Mm.
Yes, you can put dreams on hold, but try
Mm.
to don't put them on hold for too long.
Forever also.
Forever,
Mm.
forever. You can really do these things.
Mm.
Like, it's doable. Like, really, yes. School is tough. School is expensive. But even with finances, you find like, no, I can't study because I don't have money. Sometimes just that.
Yeah.
Just that.
And also
You
maybe
make a
that money
plan.
will end up in someone else's pocket for
Yeah.
someone asked you this or whatever. Like
Yeah.
invest in yourself.
But for me, I think support system is very, 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 very important. Like, the people that take care of your kids, appreciate them, because on the
Mm.
days that you are not able to take care of that child, then that auntie is the one taking care of your child while you can study.
Mm.
Your partners, your sibling, your friends, like, the support system,
Yeah, because
like,
even your
it's,
friends, you lean on them also for like
mm,
just that. Sometimes you just need that boost,
mm,
like, no, you can do it,
mm,
like, because you're discouraged, and like, no, let's study. Maybe some of
mm.
you guys are studying at the same
Yeah,
time or
yeah.
something.
And with friends, you can even call them, like, oh, I'm studying, I'm not able to take my child to this activity. Can you
Yeah,
help?
yeah.
So support system is very, very, I think it has gotten me this far for this past 8 years that I've been married and working and studying and being a wife and a mother. Um, it helped to have a support system. But
Mm.
ladies, okay, and guys, I know they say we are neglecting the boy child, but guys, go after your dreams.
Yeah,
Marriage should not bring your dreams to an end. You don't
yeah.
want to end up you think now you're like you are taking care of your spouse and the kids, but you don't want to end up resenting them. And
Mm.
also, soon these kids will be out of the nest. It will just be the
Yes,
two of you.
yes.
Now imagine you didn't do anything. Now you
Yeah,
are going to be there all bored.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
also just
follow
like
them.
in that, even in that regard of like making time also for your spouse, because now these kids are gonna be gone, and
Mm.
then like you guys are like perfect strangers
Yeah, perfect
because
strangers.
you've just focused on my kids,
Mm.
my kids, my kids.
Mm.
No, I'm a mother, my mother.
Yeah.
You neglected your dreams, you neglected your spouse,
Mm.
and then
Or the
the kids
kids
are
are
gone.
now grown and you don't have anybody in your life because you are not showing up for your
Yes.
friends or your family.
Mm.
Like,
Hmm.
you are invited to this baby shower or this bridal shower or this wedding or whatever event, someone might have a birthday,
You're never there.
and you are never there because you think, okay, I'm married now and I have children. And
Mm.
then, but you still need your outside your immediate family people.
Yeah.
So with you, just, I know there was I think back in the days, okay, the time I only had one child. I remember that day I had assignments due and I attended 3 events on
Sure.
one day. Like, I woke up, I went to a bridal shower. I think it was your friend Jojo's bridal shower.
Ah, that
And
day I
then
remember.
I can't remember what event this was. And then in the evening, I had to go to my husband's cousin's reception. I couldn't attend the church because I was at the bridal shower, but I went to the evening reception. But still, I had assignments that I had to submit that day. So
Mm.
there's no balance, really. You just
Mm.
sow the seeds bit here and there. Even if you
Mm.
just show up for 2 hours and like, excuse me, I
You
need to
showed
go
face and
study. Yeah.
but this is
So
the thing also, let's not only start showing up for people when you are getting married. Like people
mm,
notice these things, like, oh,
yeah.
suddenly you are coming to staff and then also you disappear again after.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, let's
Yeah.
just show up for your people and
Mm. But you also see, I think one thing I've learned in life, people that show up for people that bless people in
mm,
whatever way or form,
mm,
when they have their things, you will see
Yeah, that's true.
people would travel for them, people will
Yeah.
sacrifice for them.
Yeah.
Like, so in life, as much as we are busy and you have a job or you have studies or kids or a spouse or whatever, when you neglect the outside world, trust me, there will come a point in time when they will need you. I mean, when you will need them
yeah.
and they are not there. And I know sometimes you'll be like, on that one, like I don't
But
need
no one is an
anybody.
island.
But
Yeah.
I've really seen people that are blessers
Yeah.
in whatever form they get blessed in return.
And I think one thing I can actually say with both of us, it's something that we have seen from our parents. Yeah, maybe it's also a natural thing, but my mom and my dad are show up as, that's not a word, but like they show up for people and stuff. So also like when our kids see that, oh no, mommy said it's going to auntie who's what, they also see like, oh okay, relationships are important. And no, but guys, kids social calendars have become busier than us, my dear.
Yeah,
Birthday party here,
birthday.
birthday party
You need
there.
a budget line item for birthday gifts for
Yo,
the kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's good. That's really, really good advice. So
Yeah.
don't neglect yourself.
Mm.
Don't neglect your family, your friends, show up for people, work
Your
on your
dreams.
dreams. Like,
Very
yeah, when everything
important.
else is not there, at least that
You have
can
it.
still keep you
Yes.
going and
Even
stuff.
if it's just for the suitcase. I know people sometimes go like, why is this person just graduating a lot? Why is this person having so many paper? It's okay. The person wants their paper. Let
Yeah.
them have it. In fact, for me, I always say
Knowledge is
like it's
power
better to
also.
have it and
Yeah.
not use it than to need it
And
and
not
not
have
have
it.
it.
It's true.
Yeah,
That's a good
like
one.
get those papers, like get those certificates, like even if you are not using it, even if you're a housewife, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Maybe
matter.
one day in your retirement you'll use it as a consultant.
Yeah, maybe you only want to be a housewife until your kids
Yes.
get to like grade 1, and then
Yes.
you want to,
To resume again, like you want to start with, so get those papers, guys. Even if people are like, why are you always studying? It's okay, study. In
Yeah.
fact, knowledge is power, guys. Like I saw my boss recently, she was at a graduation, and I think one of the professors said you only finish school when you
When
have
you're
a
done.
PhD.
Oh.
Like PhD is like finishing school. So it's okay.
Permanent
Like,
head damage.
yeah, it's good. It's okay. Like, do the things that need to be done. Honestly, like you don't lose anything from learning.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything from learning. Yeah.
Yeah, but with all of this, guys, just remember life is not a one size fits all. So find your size, walk in your shoe size, and like do what works for you. Whether it's planning your wedding, whether it's your life, like we are only meant to draw inspiration from other people, but like not to like try and copy everything because you don't know, like you are just seeing like this person, this one is studying this or they have this and that, but you also don't know the time that goes. It's like, so do what works for you. And yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Salma, for coming. I hope you come back again. I'm sure my people are going to enjoy it because I really enjoyed it. I'm just looking at you and I'm like, it's almost like I'm hearing some of these things for the first time.
Thank
But
you for having me. So yeah.
please do
Yeah,
like and share
guys,
and subscribe.
subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell, and until next
It
time,
is goodbye.
it's goodbye.